Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on What's Brewing with Jim and Gigi on this Tuesday morning. I hope you're all having a great morning so far. It is chilly out there.
It is,
Yeah.
but not in here.
Yeah, not in here. It feels good in here.
Yeah, we've got widespread freezing temps out the door this morning. Some 20s well inland, quite a few areas actually getting into the 20s this morning. I'll talk about the morning chill and then really good stuff to follow, kind of dig into that. Still got a little rain chance the upcoming overnight. Saturday's the big question mark in my head right now. How much rain will we get? When will it time out? Still working on those details, but I'll tell you what I'm thinking. We'll get into the weekend weather. Saturday's kind of an important day for Jacksonville.
Right.
Big parade going on.
Parade.
And it is the first big Christmas, they call it the holiday Christmas parade, the first big parade of the season. They kind of kick things off down there. I think we're going to be okay, but I'll dig into those details in a little bit.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Well, before we get into all of that, we do have a story. We checked out some of the regional airports here in Eastern Carolina a few weeks ago when the FAA did initiate a flight reduction across 40 airports across the country due to the federal government shutdown. Some regional flights were actually impacted because Charlotte was one of the major airports that had to, reduce some flights, cut some flights back.
It was getting kind of madness for a while.
It was, yeah, especially with, the holidays coming around. A lot of people were really concerned about, what was going to go on. But we did check in with Coastal Carolina down in New Bern, Craven County. I know that last week or a few weeks ago, they were seeing some flight cancellations. They had at least one or two that they're cut at some point. So we spoke to them, just some of their directors and those that work there, just to see how the schedule is looking now that the government shutdown is over and now that the FAA has lifted that reduction.
It impacted you, did you? Did you have to do a little rerouting?
Yes, actually a few weeks ago. It was actually before the FAA ended up making those cuts, but I did, in anticipation of it, one of my flights was canceled. So
yes, so you know firsthand.
It was definitely discouraging, when you book a trip and you have to kind of sort it all through and you're not really sure how to navigate it. It can be hard.
Yeah, we're trying to book some stuff for going into next year, and it really scares you, even down the road. Something like this, all of a sudden your head starts thinking, if we really lost air travel altogether, the impacts would be massive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, anyway.
So let's take a look at what they had to say at EWN about everything now, how it's all looking in anticipation of the holidays coming up too.
Travelers once faced with the fear of cancellations and delays due to air traffic controller staffing issues amid a government shutdown.
We definitely were looking at the flight situation, hour to hour pretty much.
Are now hopeful things will be going back to normal.
I just hope things keep getting smoother and fellow travelers just keep catching their flights.
6 a.m. Monday, the Federal Aviation Administration ended its flight reduction emergency order, allowing airlines to resume normal operations. Cuts starting November 7th at 40 major airports were to address staffing issues among air traffic controllers due to the record-long shutdown. Coastal Carolina Regional Airport feeling that impact with 6 canceled flights.
6 flights in the grand scheme of things, yes, that's inconvenient for passengers traveling on those days, on those flights, but it ended up being very manageable.
Now that the shutdown has ended, TSA and traffic controllers are getting paid again. Many travelers are praising those who worked during uncertain times.
From San Diego, where we flew from, all the way through Charlotte and here, everybody under the stresses of the government shutdown still their attitudes were great.
They put flyer safety ahead of anything else that they had going on in their lives or their households to come in without being paid and to do their jobs. That's commendable.
And as a busy Thanksgiving travel period approaches, some say they have something else to be thankful for as they take to the skies.
People can rest easy with the holiday travel coming up, so I think that should make everyone happy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's great to see that all the operations are getting back to normal, and also that they were able to manage any kind of flights that did see delays or cancellations. Glad to hear that it wasn't too much chaos.
Yeah, I feel fortunate because I haven't had to travel in the last several weeks.
Right.
My travel days, and I generally sticking around for the holidays as well.
Yeah.
So, but it's good for all those folks with those big Thanksgiving plans. And boy, I think
Yep.
it's one of the busiest days of the year
Yeah,
for air
it
travel
is.
or leading up to it. So hopefully, and we're always watching for big storms as well. Don't ask me about the weather for Thanksgiving yet.
Okay.
It's a little bit early,
Yeah.
so we'll get into that next week. But let's get into the forecast details,
Yeah,
Gigi. And we will
absolutely.
talk about the next few days here. And again, out the door this morning, I'd say it's about as cold this morning as anything we've seen thus far this season. Frosty cold start, and then the headlines into the afternoon. I like to call this my Cliff Notes version forecast. I use it in the morning show. If you're running out the door, I can give you a quick little bullet point. Sunny, cool, calmer. Mid-60s later, calm winds. Calm winds is important because yesterday's winds were still cranking 20-25. Much more agreeable mid-60 with the lighter winds. Out the door in New Bern, it is cold. 34, and again, no wind, very calm out there. The air temp in Greenville at freezing as we look out to the airports. The 32 will lift. I'm forecasting a high again around 64-ish this afternoon, give or take. Give me a little leeway on my highs there. Air temps right now, hello 20s. Roanoke Rapids, Ahoskie, Windsor. Greenville was showing 30. We're up to 32 now. Kenansville sub-freezing. I would say just about pretty much all real estate along and west of Highway 17 at or below freezing. So a good hard freeze going on. And some of those freezing temps creeping in towards Pamlico County, interior, eastern Carteret County, 40 out on the Outer Banks. There is a freeze warning down to the south. I'll show you that in just a sec. So yeah, a little scraping to be done for maybe another hour or so before any frost melts away. Get plants inside a little late for that now. A few hours ago it was still pertinent there. 1 to 2 extra minutes, maybe a little longer. Some heavier frost well inland as you head out. The main reason to kind of bring that graphic up, a lot of you, if you're like me, you're generally running out the door to get where you need to go. This will stop you dead in your tracks if you have frosty windshields and rear windows. So give yourself extra time, get out a little earlier. There's those freeze warnings I alluded to down into Pamlico County and generally eastern Carteret County. You might be looking at this saying, well, why not Craven County? Why not Jones County? Why not Onslow County? Because they've already had their first hard freeze or their first significant freeze. The first freeze of the season gets a freeze warning. After that, the Weather Service won't issue them. It marks the end of the growing season. So Pamlico County, that's it. That freeze shuts down the growing season. Same thing into Carteret County. All right. Satellite radar, neither of either. It looks good. A little bit of cloud cover slid through last night. Out the door this morning, clean slate, clear skies. Winds, not much. And what you see on that graphic will generally hold through the day. I think I've got my wind forecast coming up, a few graphics in here. There's my afternoon temps. I'm going 64. I think we'll get there. Yesterday we hit about a 62. It's hard for me to imagine we won't at least reach that mark, if not exceed it today. So 64, 65 this afternoon. And the winds, nope, calm inland. A little light breeze out of the north turns to the south on the coast. It stays under 10 the afternoon hours. Great beach walking day. Watch tonight. We do have a frontal boundary that's going to slide in here or get close. Not quite get in. Close enough. Watch the clouds first. 10 p.m. still clear. There's the moisture moving in. 2, 3, 4 a.m. Clouds thicking up and a few raindrops move through. It's not much. Nevertheless, while we're sleeping, most of us anyway, that's when that rain chance comes in north of Highway 264. Dampen a few roads up. If somebody gets more than 1/10 of an inch of rain in their rain gauge, I'll be shocked. If you do, let me know. I'll take the hit on that. By 8, 9 a.m. tomorrow, any rain chances are gone. And that's good news for the morning commute. We should be in good shape. Check out the air temps tomorrow. So the sun breaks back out by lunchtime. We'll get that southerly flow driving the air temps into the 70s. 2, 3 o'clock, warmest time of the day this time of the year. Will be around 72-ish degrees. Good stuff. All right, winds, I mentioned those light winds. Better day for burning today. If you're like me, you've got a lot of leaves in your yard. I'm going to try and get some burning done today, or at least get some more of the raking done and have them ready to burn. You can see the winds 5-ish, and that's it. Overnight and into tomorrow, there's south wind. Tomorrow still out of the south, 5 to 10. Watch late day. A north wind starts moving in late day. That's going to be a cool down Thursday, not tomorrow. We'll knock the highs back into the 60s again, but tomorrow I like 70s. Temp tracker reflects that. 64 to 72. today and tomorrow. No frost concerns tomorrow morning. Lows should not get much below 50 as good in the overnight tonight. And then I'll be a little more agreeable out the door. I think we're going to jump to that 8-day forecast. There's the big map. That low sliding north of us tonight, don't worry about it. That rain, again, rides north, the bulk of it. That's the rain chance I showed you tomorrow morning. Zips through, adios. And then the next low starts building out west. Wednesday we get warmer. Remember that little cool down I showed you Thursday? Watch that front slide a little south. Drop the temps 10 degrees. And then Thursday, warmer air lifts back in. Jump the highs back into the 70s. It's that rain back there as it approaches Saturday. Timing yet to be determined. Tune in tomorrow morning when we're here. I'll have a much better handle, I should, on the timing and coverage of rain for Saturday. I don't see a ton right now. Tonight, 30%. Rains out tomorrow morning. And again, we'll get some 70s for you guys tomorrow. That little dip Thursday goes right back to 70s. Friday, Saturday. Sunday, any rain chance is gone. Sunny skies at 67. I'll have that Jacksonville, I thought I had it in here, but that parade forecast when we come back at 8 a.m. I'll give you the details on that again Saturday morning. The big Christmas parade down in Jacksonville.
Exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, I always love, it's exciting that Christmas and Thanksgiving, everything's coming up so soon. I can't believe Thanksgiving is already next week. Crazy.
I can't believe it's going to be near 70 degrees for the Jacksonville parade.
Wow, yeah.
I'm on the cold weather side of the equation when it comes to Christmas
I know.
parades.
I was telling you how I'm
Yes.
going to enjoy. I like the idea of being outside and it's going to be
Boo-hiss.
nice. But like on Christmas Day itself, I think it needs to be cold. I grew up with a lot of snowy Christmases,
So you're over it. Oh, but you want
Yeah.
it for Christmas.
Just
but
for
all in
Christmas
all,
itself. Other than that,
yeah.
no, thank you.
And most people want, the Christmas parades, they don't feel the need for that chill.
Right.
I love it. We've done a few in the past where we've had a little sleet here and there. We did Aiden one year. There were a few snowflakes in the air for the
That's nice.
nighttime parade.
Yeah.
I was,
The
yes.
snowflakes are nice. The sleet doesn't sound very nice.
Everybody had scarves and hats on,
Yeah.
scarves and hats and gloves for that parade. I like that. It adds
Great.
a little more festive air to
Yeah.
it to me. But I think 90% of folks will be like, yep, give me 70
Still
degrees.
good. Yeah, you can
We're
still wear
happy.
your Santa hat. No
I'm
big
the oddball
deal.
on this one. I know that.
All right, Jim. Well, thank you for
Yep.
the update. And thank you all for joining us. Just want to say hello to George and Bernice checking in with us over on Facebook. Good morning to you both. We're going to be back at 8 o'clock with another news and weather update. So hope you can join us then. Have a great day.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by Toyota of Goldsboro.